Hello and welcome everyone. Today we will learn what is JIT registration in iOS and iPadOS enrollment. So we have been using Company Portal to register our devices with Entra ID and for compliance check. But we have a new feature which is JIT registration, which can register your device in Entra ID and also completes the compliance check without using the Company Portal app. So it doesn't mean that Company Portal app is now ruled out for iOS and iPadOS enrollment. But for some of the enrollment methods, we can use this feature. So we can use it with the account-driven user enrollment. We can use it with the web-based device enrollment. And we can use it with the automated device enrollment, where you select the authentication method as setup assistant with modern authentication. We will see all three of them one by one. So what exactly it does, if you enable the JIT registration by creating a policy, which is Apple SSO app extension policy into the Intune admin center, it get applied to all the Microsoft apps and also any non-Microsoft app if you add that app to your policy. So after creating this policy in Intune, those apps are configured with the SSO extension policy. Now, if you are using the JIT, then you need not to use the Company Portal app because it will do the same thing. This feature, SSO app extension feature, this will also establishes the SSO across the whole device. So all the app which are configured with app extension policy will sign in using SSO. So now we will move to the Intune admin center and we will see that how to enable JIT registration by creating the policy in the Intune admin portal. So we will go to configuration profile. We'll create a new policy for iOS and iPadOS. Go to the template. We'll go to the device features, create. You see this setting. We will select Microsoft Entra ID here. We'll wait for other options to come up. If you want to configure any non-Microsoft app, then you will add the bundle ID here. But for Microsoft apps, after you create this policy into the Intune admin center and assign it, then it get applied to all Microsoft apps. So we need not to add any app bundle ID. I will refer the Microsoft documentation. I will configure this key. Not leave any spaces. This will create a SSO across the Safari browser as well. So it's recommended. Integer 1. So this is how, after creating the Apple SSO app extension policy, you enable the JIT registration. Now let's move to the next slide. So with which enrollments this JIT registration works? So there are three of them. One is account-driven user enrollment. The other is web-based device enrollment. And the third one is Apple automated device enrollment. In the automated device enrollment, you will have to select the authentication method as a setup assistant with a modern authentication. So once the user turns on the device and log into the setup assistant and finishes the setup assistant's page, then user can sign into any work or school app which is configured using the SSO app extension policy to register his or her device into the Entra ID and complete the compliance evaluation, and then it will automatically establish SSO as well across the whole device. So we will see what changes the end user will see at their end with this enrollment process and with this registration enabled. Now I would also like to show this that you need to assign the Microsoft Authenticator app to the group as a required app, because unless this app is installed on those devices, they cannot sign into any work app, because once Authenticator is installed and it will create a SSO across the device, and after that if you try to access any work app, you will be able to sign into that work app. First we will see how it looks like when it is used with the automated device enrollment when you have selected the setup assistant with the modern authentication. So once authentication handles enrollment and user device affinity, this is complete after the setup assistant phase has finished, and second authentication happens when user try to log in into a work or school app. So with the second authentication, the Microsoft Entra registration and the compliance check are complete. So once the device user reaches the home screen, they can sign into any work or school app that's configured with the SSO extension policy to complete Microsoft Entra registration and compliance check. So once you have created that policy into the Intune and assigned it to a group, then it get configured for all the Microsoft apps and any other app which is non-Microsoft. If you have added the bundle ID for that app, this SSO extension is configured for that app. Now we will see what happens in the web-based device enrollment. So when the user tries to sign into any work or school app, the app alert them to enroll the device and guide them to the company portal website. So this enrollment uses the company portal website to download the management profile. So once the management profile is installed on the device, user need to wait for the authenticator to install on that device. So once the authenticator is installed, you can also check it in your management profile that single sign-on extension is listed. The authenticator app is listed under single sign-on extension. It means that the device has already completed the Entra ID registration and SSO has established across the whole device. The third enrollment process, which is account-driven user enrollment. Here also, the user will go to the setting app and will add his managed Apple ID or their work account if it is federated with Apple. Once a user has got the management profile installed and device is showing as a managed device, user need to wait for the authenticator app to install. Once this is installed, SSO is established across the device. The device is already registered with the Entra ID and has completed the compliance evaluation. Now the device is ready to use. In this, the company portal app is not required for registration and compliance. And as we have seen, when we have enabled this JIT registration by creating the Apple SSO extension, we have also deployed the Authenticator app as a required app. So this is all you need to do as an admin in order to configure the just-in-time registration for your iOS and iPadOS enrollment for 3 enrollment methods, which is showing on this page. That's all for the JIT. If you have any further questions, you can ask me in the comment section. I will appreciate your feedback. Thanks for your valuable time. Have a nice day.